and definitely be able to sell it. Because in your product-based business, in a physical product-based business or a product or a business built around cash flow, the worst thing you can possibly do is have stagnant inventory. You don't want to just have inventory sitting in your business and not making you money, because what it's really doing is it's not just not making you money, it's preventing you from buying things that will make money. So me and Eric have always, whenever we started our business, we didn't have a whole lot of cash. And we've never just had that kind of just windfall of cash where we can just invest in whatever we want and kind of let things sell. So instead, we had to pick products that we knew would sell, that we knew we could make money with, and that we knew we would be able to ultimately reinvest and find the best way to spend our capital. And I think that's like one of the big keys to it, running a successful business, is being able to predict your income, being able to understand where your money's going to be going every month. And that's one of the things I really love about Wholesale. So once you click that search, what this is going to do is it's going to show us all those things that hit that criteria, right? So it's going to show us products that are more than $20 that aren't sold by Amazon. And I actually forgot one, so I'm going to go back here and plug another one data point in. We also want products with a minimum of 3 sellers. And the reason that we want 3 sellers is we don't want to look at a lot of private label products. Now, what private label products are, is those are products that are they are typically like a white label version, where it's a product that was literally made to be sold on the Amazon platform. And as far as the reason we don't like to work with those particular products, it's not because of the product type or anything like that. It's just, whenever the person that made those, like I know Barb does some private label too. Whenever Barb made that product, she made it with the purpose of selling it on Amazon. So like our interests don't really align. A lot of the vendors that we work with, we have a very, very symbiotic relationship. They created their product and their goal is to get it into as many channels as possible. So they're trying, that's their goal. They're not trying to be a retailer. That's not their end game. They're not focused on retail. So what we serve as their retail partner, which means that we help them grow within a specific channel. So their goal is to grow their business into as many channels as possible, into as many retail venues as possible, and things like that. Whereas our goal as a retailer is to expand their sales within that specific channel. So, being with the private label products were brought to that marketplace to be sold, our interests don't necessarily align. So we just like to avoid that. It's more of a time saver for us to not reach out. So now that I got all the correct data points plugged in, we're going to go ahead and get started again. And again, this is just going to bring us up products that are selling, 60 times a month at least, that are selling for more than $20, that don't have Amazon and have at least 3 sellers. So I'm just going to kind of start scrolling down through here and looking at products, and you guys can see on the page how this displays. It looks like I'm in the kitchen and dining. Unless I misclicked again. We're really firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, I should have probably had difficulty hooking the Bluetooth mouse up, so this is a little bit of technical difficulties from Mike's part in it.
Yep. Now we're back. I went to pets again. I was like, why does this keep showing bedding and stuff like that? But okay. Now we're cooking with peanut oil. All right. So the first thing we're going to do is you're going to see here, on this page, you can see the price. You can see the number of sellers, the approximate sales per month, and the revenue. So whenever we go to this listing, this is going to be one that I definitely want to check out. It is a guinea habitat. Now, one of the first things I see here is, whenever we look at listings, we like to not only look and see if it's a product that qualifies and meets our criteria, because that's ultimately a lead that we can start working with and potentially reach out to. But we also like to look and see how the product page looks. And ultimately, if this is a product that it may be doing, say, 100 sales right now, but if we start working with it, is this a product that could be doing 200 sales within a couple of months? And that's something that we can, whenever we reach out to manufacturers and vendors, that we can talk about. We can talk about some of these deficiencies and things like that. Because when you get started in wholesale, one of the hardest parts initially, I think everybody always thinks that it's going to be finding products, but it's really not. There's just an abundance of opportunity. You guys kind of see that as we go through. But one of the hardest parts is actually convincing people to work with you. And, how do you do that? We like to lead with value. We like to show them how we can help them increase their brand awareness or sales or just enhance their performance on the Amazon marketplace. So how do we do that? It's by doing stuff like this. We bring it up. We look at the pictures. You know, the pictures, they're actually not bad. They have enough pictures, but they don't have the right pictures. Like, that's one of the things I would really want to see, more lifestyle pictures and stuff like that. And I don't really think this this picture accomplishes very much. That's one of the things that I would potentially talk to them about. But there's something really big on this page. And if you guys want to drop it in chat, what is the first thing you might notice when I'm looking right here? Let's see if I can bring up the chat and see what they say.
Now you've opened Pandora's box. Let's see. Technical difficulties incoming.
We're going to make sure you guys are paying attention during this webinar by asking questions.
Yeah, we're gonna make sure you guys.
Buy box is hidden. Anthony says buy box.
That's it. That's it.
Boom.
Okay, Barb. Just questions in the chat. Just tell me what they say, because it started.
I gotcha. I'll do it.
But Anthony, you absolutely got it right, man. The buy box is missing, and that's a huge opportunity, right? Because whenever Amazon suppresses a buy box, they do it because they believe that the pricing is too high on the product. But what that does is it causes a decline in sales rank and a decline in velocity, which means if you can get that product to display a buy box again, then that product will automatically start selling faster. So that's something, whenever we go, let's say we're reaching out to Midwest Homes for Pets, because that's who makes this product. And this is one of the things when we're scouting that you need to look for, is if we were wanting to find out who makes this product, we would reach out to Midwest Homes for Pets. And here's how we would do that. I'm going to go ahead and go through that. That way we can just keep diving a little deeper. But with this product, it has a phenomenal sales rank. We saw that it sold something like 1,500 times a month, and that was with not incredible pictures. Let's kind of go through and see the description. They actually have a nice EBC description, which really shows me, whenever you see this, it really shows me that they care about their product, but they just don't know. Like, they don't know that this is not a very effective picture. They don't know that they need lifestyle shots. They don't know that they need shots that really kind of show people how this product's being used.
Hey, so can I just point out that it doesn't look like there's a guinea pig in any of the pictures, or is that the one from the down at the bottom with the red?
If it is, it's not a very good. It's not a very.
It's not very compelling. Boy, if you want to sell me something, show me a picture of a cat and I'll buy it. A cute cat that I can see. It's smiling at me.
For sure, or show a happy guinea pig. Like, this is just not a very effective shot to me.
Right.
And it's one that I'm sure if you talk to them that they would also agree. So what we would do is we see that this product definitely meets all of our criteria. It has a ton of upside too. So like me and Eric would look at this and we see a massive opportunity, right? So the first thing I would do is I would want to copy down this, and then it's super easy to find these products. Like, we would go to Midwest Homes for Pet, and right there we go. Now, this is how easy this model is, right? We already, first try, we found a lead that I would consider to be a good lead. Like, this is definitely something that we would be interested in carrying in our own business. And it was, literally the first search. Then you'd scroll down and email us, or you can call them. Now, one of the things that we like to do is we always like to email first, and that's just so we can get a sense for, number one, it is more convenient on our side. But I also want to see how easy they are to set up accounts with. Like, if they're approving everybody, that's something that's scary for me. It's funny because whenever we reach out to manufacturers, we love being told no, because that means that they've had issues in the past, and they they really do care about their product. They don't want just anybody selling it. So that's one of the things that's a bit of data point that I get from sending that email. But that's exactly what I would do is, if I was wanting to pick up this company, I would send them an email that says, hi, I'm a retailer based in Kentucky, and we would love to potentially carry your products. How can I go about setting up a wholesale account? Just something really simple. It doesn't ever have to be fancy. A lot of people really get caught up on the idea that this has to be much harder than it is. No, we want, we've split tested. That's one of the things that over time that we've tested all these different types of emails, right? Like, we've sent long in-depth emails, really just different types of emails. And then what we found through all of our testing is the simple contact works. And it's because they understand what you want. They understand what you're asking for. Now, oftentimes they'll tell us, potentially no, or they'll ask for more information. And that's when we want to give them information. You don't want to just preemptively shoot a bunch of stuff at them, because it's confusing and it's kind of bewildering to get that as a vendor. So that's that's exactly what we would do with this product. Is I would first reach out to the company and ask to see if I could set up a wholesale account.
Now, Dan, if I could interrupt for just to have a second, I wanted to point out to you guys that Dan just hit on what he talked about at the beginning, that a lot of times people are stopped by fear of doing the simple things to move their business forward. So for those of you who are saying, well, I'm afraid that they're going to say no, Dan's just shown us how that is an invalid fear, because them saying no could actually be a good thing when we know how to move that conversation past the no.
Exactly. And being told no for us, I mean, that's a benefit. We want to be told no because it shows that they have a level of care in their brand, right? Like I want them to care about their brand because that means that ultimately my investment's going to pay off long term. The more I'm able to help them succeed with their brand, the more I succeed as a seller. So that's one of the things that we really want to focus on too. Here's another one. I've never heard of any of these kinds of products actually. Beef filled bones. That sounds like
yummy.
Something my dog would definitely like. So we'll investigate here. All right. Now, guys, so far we've looked at 2 products. We have, and we've seen, again, this product is selling incredibly well. Let's look at how many times it's selling. It says it's selling about 135 times a month, $4,800 a month. And, so those stats are fantastic. Now, I do see something that is mildly concerning on this page. Now, can anybody go ahead and tell me in chat what that might be?
Anthony says it's a multi-pack. It's lacking pictures. That's a big one. No ingredients are listed, Tracy says.
All these are huge deficiencies.
A dog. It's missing a dog, Michael said.
Right. One of the things that I always look for is, again, we really want to make sure that Amazon's not a seller. Now, the thing with Jungle Scout's web app is it'll tell you if Amazon's in the buy box, right? But Amazon's currently not in the buy box. Now, this is a really cool instance, and this very rarely happens. Like, I love this. If I could just capture, like, I actually may want this recorded because it's just hard to find these whenever you want them. But whenever you see this, and what Amazon's doing here is it says, you see Amazon's a seller, but they don't have the buy box. Anytime that Amazon is a seller and doesn't have the buy box, like, alarm bells should be going off in your head. Like, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're a seller of the product, right? It just means that they have a listing for it right there. So what we see when we click or when we hover over it is it says usually ships within 1 to 2 months. Now, we have extensive data on this. Like, we have tracked this stuff forever. And in our experience, Amazon never goes live with this product. What they're doing is they're trying to use this as a way to get people's repricers to start getting down to a level that they would like. So effectively, this is what we call the Amazon fake offer. And in this instance, I would definitely not be afraid to buy this product. But in the instance that I did, what I would want to do is I would want to reach out to that company and I'd be like, hey, first off, there's a lot of opportunity on your listing. There's a lot going on. And we can talk about all those things that the people are mentioning in chat. Anthony mentioned that there's no lack of pictures. Absolutely. First off, that picture is awful. That picture, actually, you can't look at it and tell what it is.
And it only shows 3 bones? 4, wait, no, 3, 6, 9. Oh, never mind. That's 10 bones. My bad.
But it's, it's hard to actually even tell that those are bones.
Right.
We don't see a lifestyle shot. We don't see a shot with an animal enjoying it. There's so many things that could make this listing sell better, and it's already performing pretty well, right? So that represents a ton of opportunity. So when I reached out to this company, what I would do is I would be like, hey, first off, there's a ton of opportunity on your listing. We saw opportunities with pictures. I'm sure you guys have pictures already. Because that's the thing is, the next thing a lot of people get scared about when they start doing wholesale is they're like, man, you know what? I can't take pictures. I'm not great at doing this stuff. Well, you don't have to be. I've literally never taken a picture, but I've updated hundreds and hundreds of listings for brand owners because they already have those pictures. So that's, whenever we're talking to them about this opportunity, the thing I would focus on is I would say, hey, first off, we see a ton of opportunity in your pictures. Do you guys have a product portfolio or anything like that where we could just go through and kind of show you guys pictures that might be great for the Amazon marketplace? So that would be one of the things we do. And bear in mind, whenever we find those pictures, it literally takes us 10 minutes potentially to update this listing. So that's one of the super good things. Now, as we're scrolling down, we're going to be looking for more. Again, those bullet points don't seem particularly exciting. See what kind of description we got. Well, anybody else see a problem here?
10 pieces of
Yep, 10 pieces of red bones. Okay, so yep, the description's lacking. There's just a lot we could do. This product, again, this was one I would definitely be super excited about. And when I reached out to him, I would just ask them, hey, are you guys currently working with Amazon? We saw them on one of the listings, but and more often than not, what you're going to hear is, no, we actually don't work with Amazon at all. So yep, this is another one where I would definitely reach out. And this is, again, super easy to find the manufacturer. Right here it is. It's Red Barn. So I would Google Red Barn, and we can go ahead and do that and see if we can find it on a laptop. So it's a bit tougher to snag this.
But you guys see right underneath the title is where he's using his cursor to copy the brand name of that product, in case you couldn't see that.
Yep, Red Barn Inc. Right there they are. See, that's how easy this is, guys. Like, you can literally, so far we've clicked on 2 products. We found 2 awesome leads.
There's some shots that they need on their Amazon website.
Right. Look, exactly. We know they have those product shots. We know they have the stuff to go ahead and enhance this listing just by looking at their website. So that's one of the things that, whenever we reach out to them, if they told us no, and that's what we want, which we want them to be like, no, we have enough Amazon sellers. This is something where we could immediately just start talking to them and say, hey, guys, like we went to your website, we saw the amazing shots showing the dogs and how much they enjoy your products. Like, do you guys really feel like that that your guys' Amazon presence reflects that? Do you feel like it appropriately reflects your company? And anybody, any one of these guys that would go there, or gals, would check out that Amazon listing and just see that it is absolutely hideous in comparison to their website that shows that, the animals and the care for animals.
Well, so, and I like when communicating with them, I would use, don't scroll down yet, scroll back up just a little bit, Dan, please, where it says the Red Barn core values. I would actually mimic that languaging, and I'd say, do you feel that your Amazon listing really reflects your core values? Because they're already using that terminology in their business with their staff, and that's how they're branding themselves on their website. So I'd use the word core values.
That's absolutely, absolutely fantastic idea, because it really ties into something they know and is a part of their company. So again, all we would have to do is click this contact us button. That's, finding products and finding leads is not hard at all. I mean, there's just so many opportunities available on Amazon where products are selling extremely well, and despite of their terrible listings. Like these products, bear in mind, that product was selling incredibly well despite how terrible its listing was. And okay, so we looked at this product. Now, let's go ahead and analyze this listing, go back to it and analyze this listing a little bit. Or we'll just analyze the next one and kind of see how big this
awesome. Get ready, guys. We're going to quiz you.
All right. So the first thing we see here is, again, pictures are terrible. The title's terrible. Another thing I've noticed is it's not the same brand. So these products in the Amazon backend aren't necessarily associated to one another. Right. So like if you were to go through and do brand registry, you would have to redo all this. And that's something you could tell is, your naming conventions aren't consistent on the platform. Like there's just so much going on that could really improve this product. And it's already selling. Let's go ahead and look at this. Let's see. It's already selling 276 times a month with 5 FBA sellers. Now, let's look at the competitive sellers, because I think that one's particularly important here. Just kind of see what our equity would be if we were to sell this product.
Well, you've got another one with the Amazon on the listing. You got me seeing that now. I never saw that before.
It's the same brand. So my guess is this is if you hover over this add to cart, it's going to probably say the 1 to 2 months.
Huh.
Well, that wasn't where I wanted to be.
It's all right.
I could go back and show the hover over. It's easier on the laptop here. But
so he's using his cursor to hover over on the right-hand side under other sellers on Amazon, and it shows what their shipping time is.
Now with this one where it says it's in stock, again, I would reach out to this company and specifically ask them, like, are you working with Amazon? And if they are, I would talk to them about some of the benefits of working with us and let them know if they weren't working with Amazon, that we would love to work with them. But let's pretend that Amazon's not here and just kind of go through the process to kind of see how big of an opportunity something like this would be. So what we see here is we see that, within that 2% range, like if you multiplied $50.06 times 2%, what number do you end up with, guys? So 1.02.
Okay, so we can't hear you anymore. Did you accidentally mute yourself?
I don't think so. Can you hear me now?
Yes, now I can hear you. Sorry.
Okay. So one of the things that we do is we like to get an idea for not only how much a product sells, but how much of that product we could expect to sell. So in this instance, we would want to take the minimum fulfilled price or minimum prime price, which is $50.06, and multiply it times 1.02. And what that does is it shows us the price plus 2%. So any offer between $50.06 and $51.06 that is a prime offer, we would consider a competitive offer. And those are the people that are typically soaking up and getting all those sales. So right now there are 1, 2, 3, 4 prime offers, so we would be the 5th prime offer. Then if it was 275 sales per month, right? So we would be 275 times.
I'm writing in the chat. I'm kind of transcribing what Dan's saying, so don't worry about it. You're not going to get lost. And it's also in the one of the videos of the freewholesaleworkshop.com. You can go check that out tonight and kind of take notes as you go over the replay of this and his free training on freewholesaleworkshop.com.
Right. So with this product particularly, what we would expect to sell is by coming on as the 5th seller, we would expect to get about 20% of sales. Well, being it's 275 sales a month, we would just divide by 5. So 275 divided by 5 would be, we would expect our equity to be about 55 sales per month. Now, whenever we look at this product, let's say that the retail price was $50.06, right?
Okay, so go ahead and check in the chat, guys, while he's doing his math, and that'll give you a breakdown of what he just said.
So $50.06, if that product were making 15% margin, which is definitely achievable, what would our equity be at 55 sales a month? So we would need $50.06 times 0.15, and this. I'm trying to.
Technical difficulties.
Yeah, I got fat fingers on a small keyboard. So
here's the cool thing, guys. Clearly, none of us are math or accounting experts, and that's okay. Because I know some of you who are like me, who doing accounting is like chewing on crushed glass. You're saying, man, I'm afraid of math. I can't do these numbers in my head. That's okay, because Dan and Eric have a tool that will calculate all that for you. So it's good that you learn how to do this initially, but don't let your fear of numbers keep you from this process, is what I'm trying to say. Make sense?
All right. So with this product, this single product, that would be our expected net profit per month. Now, we already know that Red Barn sells, say, we saw the other listing, they probably sell lots of other things. So with this one account, you might generate literally thousands of dollars a month in profit. Just assuming a mild 15% profit margin. Like that's not expecting a lot. But that goes to show you kind of how wholesale works and the power of wholesale, right? Is if I was able to set this one account up, that could be literally thousands of dollars a month in profit. So we found 3 cool products that I would definitely be excited to talk to the brand about. Let's see if we can find another one. What do you think, Barb?
Yeah, that would be awesome. And we're only, like half an hour into this webinar. We've already found not just 2 products, but a supplier or brand owner that we could potentially reach out to carry multiple products of theirs. And that's just in 30 minutes using Jungle Scout web app. Let's find another one.
Let's try reptiles. I'm not a big fan of reptiles now.
Ugh.
Creepy crawlies. But I'm fine selling. You know, that's one of the things. I don't have to be a fan of reptiles to be able to make money selling their products. So that's you know, one of the things that we always encourage people to do is we look for profitable products. Like, I don't care what I sell as long as I'm able to make money on it, and you know, it's a product that I feel like it brings enjoyment to the people who buy it. So
yeah, there's another knowledge bomb. Guys, write this down. Don't fall in love with a product or a niche. Sorry.
So right here. Oh, you're fine. So right here, let's look again. Again, I kind of we see it again, right? Though not enough pictures. The title not very enticing or exciting. Bullets aren't, you know, liner dimensions. That's not a bullet point. That's something you should mention in the description. It's not something critical. We should be trying to sell this product with those bullet points, right? They're just not very effective. We scroll down, product description, 2 villa reptile terrarium bedding substitute liners. So that's not adding any value to the customer. It's not really, you know, it's one of the. It's just, this is not an impactful listing. This is a listing that is still selling though. That's the crazy part to me, is despite how bad some of these things are, like this thing's still selling 134 times a month. Like, so let's look and see what our equity of sales will be if we just carried this one product. Like, just from this one product, it looks like I can go ahead and tell you, you know, there's only 2 fulfilled offers here. Like, those would be the 2 offers that we would consider competitive. So we would be the 3rd seller on this listing, right? So 134 sales divided by how many sellers now? Answer, you guys can answer in the chat.
So how many competitive sellers do we have on this listing, guys?
Right.
So Jay's asking, how do you know Zilla is not a wholesaler like you're teaching us? We'll get to some Q&As at the end. Good question, Jay, but we'll get to those at the end. So Larry says 3, Lionel says 3.
Exactly. It's going to be 2, the 2 offers that are there plus us. So when we do this math, we're going to be 134 sales divided by 3 sellers. So 134 divided by 3, and that's the approximate number of sales that we could expect per month from this product. Is approximately 45 sales per month, right? So now let's see what that means in terms of dollars and cents, right? So $23.96. We'll assume again just a mild 15% profit margin. So that's $3.59 every time we sell one. How many times do we sell it per month? 45, right? Yeah. Times 45. So that'd be $161 from a single phone call a month. And that's just if this is the only product you carry. Now here's something cool. I can go ahead and we can see how many products that Zilla actually carries, or at least how many are registered to that Zilla name.
And that's also not assuming that sales velocity doesn't increase when you
right,
you know, make the listing, improve the listing too.
Wow. But they have, I mean, it looks like they have a substantial amount of products, right?
Wow.
Like terrariums, vertical terrarium kit, like, you know, all these are other opportunities that could just exist for us. Like, this is not even available, guys. Like, if you started contacting Zilla and you set up that account, like, this is a product that you could literally start selling. Look at that sales rank. It's 42,000 despite being out of stock, which means that product was probably selling incredibly well when it was in stock. So this represents a massive opportunity. Yeah, this product, it looks like, based on Keepa data, was in the 16,000 sales range, which means it was probably selling 130-something times a month. So this opportunity literally probably represents thousands of dollars in a month in profit. Now, you know, who was it that asked the question earlier? Jay? About how do you know if they're a wholesaler? Well, here's how we can find out. Like, this is where it gets really easy with wholesale. So, you know, first off, I can go ahead and tell you, Jay, that we see multiple sellers carrying that product, right? So that means that it's a company who we know right now is at least selling to multiple Amazon sellers. But we can look it up. Zilla Reptile. And we'll see what it brings up. Wow, ZillaRules.com. So we would click on this, and, you know, we can obviously see it's kind of that same theme and stuff. So this is definitely we're in the right spot, right? Go back to their homepage here. fat fingered again and kind of clicked. But so now we're going to scroll down. We're going to see if we can find a contact us. Contact us. And yep, this is exactly what we do. I just reach out to them and say, hey guys, we're a retailer based in Kentucky. I would love to carry your products. And they would generally contact us back and be like, hey, where are you guys going to be selling products? And then
they have a dealer's link up top too, Debbie pointed out.
Oh,
good
yep.
catch, Debbie.
Good job, Debbie. That's that's another thing. A lot of these, obviously these companies, so this is, Jay, to answer your question, 100% this company is a real company that definitely sells to people. They obviously have the dealer's link on their website. And this is a real account. You guys could go pick up today potentially. Or be told no today and start that process of trying to show them add value. And
cool. They have a 2017 product catalog. So they're I like that because a lot of what I call lazy sellers are going to see that and say, oh, they don't even have the current pricing up, and they move on, right? I like that their catalog's old.
Right. It shows that they're, to me, what that shows is our target companies tend to be those small and mid-sized companies, right? And a hallmark of those companies is that they lack the resources to be able to do all of these small things on their website. So when you go to their website and you see something unpolished, don't be afraid of that. That's usually a benefit. It usually means that it's a target company that's kind of right in that wheelhouse, right? So what is it now? Just keeping score, Barb? Is it we clicked on 4 products, we found four pretty awesome leads, and probably several thousands of dollars in month in profit potential?
Yeah, we're only 40 minutes into the webinar. We've already potentially generated, $15,000, $20,000, $2,000 a month in profit just from a couple of products without even expanding out to the rest of their catalogs.
Ooh, Gorilla Chew. I know I like gorillas. We'll see what
is that?
Hopefully they're not. Hopefully you aren't chewing gorillas.
Yeah, it looks like ginger. The heck? Looks like ginger.
Well, I can go ahead and tell you that.
How many is it selling a month?
The oddest thing sell on Amazon, right? This just little thing right here is selling 61 times a month.
It's probably a play on Gorilla Glue, where it's for dogs who, like to chew really hard or something.
Right. Absolutely. So again, this is a product. You can see there's just not a lot of competition for it. There are going to be 2 competitive sellers. So we would expect to sell maybe 20 of these a month. And that's not that exciting. That's not necessarily something I would get super excited about. But when we start considering, what else does this company make? Maybe they make other stuff that might make this product worth carrying, right? Oh, wow. So click on their link, and now we see all kinds of cool goodies, right? Like we see their chinchilla dust bath. I don't know who wouldn't want one of those.
Oh, yeah, man. I thought in the tub tonight.
Yeah, I mean, Eric would get in there with his chinchilla. And
I like the beehive. I think a beehive's cool.
Oh, wow. Look, and some expensive goodies, too. And this is where we want to be, right? Like we want to be on these items that are greater than $20. So again, like that one little nugget, it was probably worth say $100 a month in profit to us if we assume that same 15%. But it's not that account may be worth thousands of dollars. Like if we set up an account to buy that ginger chew product,
we could draw. What did you? Oh, you picked the beehive.
Now that one's carried by Amazon, so that's one we would probably avoid.
Now, what role do reviews play? Because that had a 3-star review. Do you look at that as well?
It depends. If I notice that the reviews are low, like if they they're in that 3.5, 3-star review, I want to go ahead and check some of those reviews out and see what they're related to. Like a lot of times,
8 customer reviews, so just one low review for something could skew that.
Right. In those instances, like reviews wouldn't necessarily matter to me just because somebody left a 1-star review. If I looked at the reviews and there were a substantial amount of them, and there were a significant number of negative ones, that would potentially worry me if it was defect ratings or something like that.
Got it.
But yeah, beyond that, it wouldn't be. So again, this product line, this product. Whenever you find a little product like this that kind of fits that criteria, it's always good to dig a little deeper and just see what else the brand has. So we can look for something else cool. I love just looking at pet stuff because it's always like the weirdest things sell. A chinchilla bath. I always think that's super cool. Let's find one let's find one that sells a little bit more. Here we're going to sort these puppies by sales per month.
So just to recap, if you came in late, we're using Jungle Scout web app, and we went in and set some criteria and are searching in the pet category to see if we can dig out some opportunities, some wholesale opportunities. And we're doing this live and pretty much unscripted, so we don't know what we're going to find, but we've already found several potentially really great products and suppliers in just 45 minutes. So we're going to look for one more and see what Dan can come up with here.
Well, if this one's sold by Amazon, so that's not one that would be too terribly excited about. Let's see if somehow. Okay. These are all.
I know.
These are all producing literally hundreds of thousands of dollars a month in revenue. Let's.
Bullseye, no mess, leak pro. I'm not looking at the right-hand column here. So we're looking at the right-hand columns here. Tell us what columns we're looking at, Dan, in this Jungle Scout. We're looking at the number sold, which is the second in from the left.
Yep. Oh, we can scroll back up here to the top and just kind of give everybody the bird's eye view of what you're seeing there. So, yeah, the things that we particularly care about is the sales. Like I right here, I care about the sales and I care about the number of sellers. Because if you remember, we already filtered out all of the things that didn't hit our price thresholds and stuff like that. So right now, I'm just looking for products that I've not necessarily heard of that are selling a lot on Amazon. So I'm just kind of scrolling down to see what I like. Purina, that's a bigger brand. Like that's not somebody I feel like I can necessarily connect with. Frontline is a bigger brand. But when you start seeing stuff like Zesty Paws, like, I've literally never heard of Zesty Paws. And so that would be potentially one that I would look at. So we click that link. And the thing I really care about is, are multiple people selling this product? And we see that there are multiple sellers for it. Now, this is likely a private label product with an extra seller. But in the instance, just to kind of show you what could happen and how big some of these products get. We saw that product was selling 5,500 times a month. So let's imagine that you could get this single account, right? Like in just this one account or one product. If you could start carrying this product today, like you would be the third seller on it. So 5,500 divided by 3. So you would expect to sell about 1,800 of these puppies a month. And then
you don't have to make much profit per unit. Spreads start adding up in a hurry.
Yep, $25.99 times.
Love that pumpkin flavored. For those of you who have dogs are go nuts over pumpkin flavored, from what I understand.
I didn't know that.
A friend of mine told me his dog likes to eat pumpkins.
So if we were to sell this product, this single product, this would generate us approximately $7,000 a month in profit. Just this one single product, right? So that's, while generally, we don't actually, very often, we don't find these types of products that we're carrying. A lot of the products that we carry are more along the sells a few hundred times a month. But this is, we've carried products like this, and whenever you do, it's just like the ability to generate huge amounts of profit per month is just astronomical.
Yeah, and those 100, 200 products a month, they add up, guys. They add up. So if you find a product and then that manufacturer has multiple other products that their listings are equally not that great, they don't have a lot of sellers, but the numbers work, one wholesale account could get you 500, 600, 800 sales a month across their entire catalog, if not more.
This one looks like a good one. Right? Have you ever heard of this? Zymox? I've never heard of this.
Ear what? Ear solution.
It looks like Amazon heard of it. We'll go ahead and back on out.
Bird donut.
Biddle's Vault. That sounds fun.
There we go.
Yeah, this is.
There
wow.
Ooh.
I can go ahead and tell you, Amazon, whenever you see that Amazon doesn't have that buy box, right? Like you should always just go over here and look. Again, ships in 1 to 4 weeks. Like this would be one of those companies that I would definitely reach out to. I would ask them what kind of If they were actively working with Amazon, and if they weren't, then I would be very comfortable making this purchase. But this product is a huge opportunity. Like, this is a merchant fulfilled product that's literally selling thousands of times a month, like 3,000 times a month. Like, if we were to come on with a competitive FBA offer,
$88,000 in sales a month, guys. $88,000.
Right. Just imagine if you come on as a FBA offer on a product like this, like, you're going to dominate this. You're going to dominate the buy box. So it just takes, that's the beautiful thing about this business model is you can build it on singles and doubles, like, those smaller 200, 300 sales per month products, just like we have. Or you can find these one-off, just crazy home run products, and like Cheryl. Cheryl, her very first real account that she got generates over $200,000 a month or a year in profit. Like, that's just one account, one product. So it's, these home runs are definitely out there, and you just have to be in the position to look for them and find them, right?
Hey, and in case you didn't know what Dan was just referring to, if you go over to freewholesaleworkshop.com, and today they've got their 4th video up, and they're going to show a lot of testimonials of people who have actually, just like you and me, who started, exploring the Amazon world with, no knowledge and a dream, and they've managed to build successful wholesale businesses, from whatever their original story was. And you can watch a lot of those stories up on freewholesaleworkshop.com in today's lesson. And while you're there, watch lessons from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday as well.
It's actually interesting. You mentioned pumpkin. Now I'm starting to notice that pumpkins and a lot of this stuff. Like, here's a Glandex.
Yeah, I wasn't making that up. Something about the pumpkin flavor. Oh, that's peanut butter chews. Oh, but it says pumpkin, but the image says peanut butter chews. Interesting, huh?
Huh. I mean, that's something you could bring up to the manufacturers. Hey, you guys. But despite that, let's look how many times this thing's selling per month. Like, this one product is generating $99,000 a month in sales.
Wow, and the next one down, $76,000 just from the same manufacturer.
Right. Now you see again. That's a product I would potentially avoid just because of the Amazon thing. And
Amazon, yeah.
Those guys are on it. But let's go down into the more. We'll look at a couple that sell in the 500 to 1,000 times a month. Oh, here's one.
Mushroom Secret Paw. Yeah, I was looking at that too.
That one's super cool.
Wax. I don't know what that is, but okay.
Oh, wow. So this one.
Wow, look at that listing, guys.
What do you guys think here? Could this use some more pictures?
What would you do on this listing, guys?
Yep. You could add pictures. You could definitely improve.
Photos.
You can improve the description. Like, there's no bullets. Look, it's not even using all of its bullets.
You know what I find funny? Look over on the right-hand side at other sellers, and eTails is on this. Are you guys familiar with eTails?
Oh, we absolutely are.
Right, I meant the folks in the chat. I know you guys are. So some people might be scared off on that, but look at the quality of this listing. So you could, I would say I could probably compete against eTails to get a supplier account with this, because they're not really doing anything on the listing at all. They're not, they're not optimizing it. They're not increasing sales by making it look better.
Yeah. So this product, despite how terrible the listing is, you would be, let's do a quick analysis of this guy. So there are 4 competitive sellers, right? That means there's 4 prime sellers within 2% of the buy box price. So we can see that. Now, so we would be the 5th seller on this product, right? How many times did it sell per month, Barb? Was it 1,230 times a month?
Got it.
So 1,230 divided by 5, just to show you guys what this one account could potentially generate.
So we're at 246.
Right. So 246 times a month. Let's see. It was 2962 times. And again, we'll just use that 15% because I think that's a great number just because it's super conservative and it's not, that's not something that's hard to achieve. So times 0.15 equals, it looks like we could generate about $4.44 every time we sold one of these. And what was it?
246 units a month.
Yeah. So times 246. Yeah. This one product could generate us almost $1,100 in profit a month. And look, there's other ones. You know, there's the 60 gram, there's the 60 gram 2-pack, the 200 gram, and that's just on this. That's just children of this listing. That, you know, that's not even assuming that they might make something else. So between all those, what if that product generated you guys? You know, let's say you picked up this account and it generated an extra $2,000 a month in profit. What would that do for your life? Put it in the chat. If you guys could add an extra $2,000 a month, what would you change today about your life?
Yeah, and that's net profit. So if you're looking at, you know, $24,000 extra a year, what would you go do with that? What would you invest in? What would you pay off? What experiences would you have with your family and friends? Tracy's out of her 9 to 5. Bye-bye job, says Matt Bartlett. I know you guys want to join the world of self-employed. I could never, ever, ever go back and get a job. So yeah, that's great. If your dream is to leave your job. Hey, Adrian, I know you're confused about the calculations. Don't worry about it. I broke it down in the chat for you, and you can rewatch this webinar. And you can also go to freewholesaleworkshop.com and watch them do it again on Wednesday's lesson. Yep, Dana would say bye-bye corporate job. So how many of you, put a 1 in the chat if you're still working a regular 9 to 5 job. Put a 1 in the chat for me. Are you still working a real job? 1. Okay, we got some 1s coming in. Got some Q&As coming in. Yeah, a lot of people. Here we go. She said, I would have less financial stress. That right? I equate healthy finances to freedom in my life. It's all about having freedom of time and money and opportunity and, you know, having a regular income every month with wholesale sourcing. That provides me that freedom. So that's my ultimate goal. And 10. Well, and we got a lot of 1s. A lot of people working real jobs still who are on this webinar.
I mean, what financial freedom means to me is it means I get to go when I go out or I do something. I'm not necessarily always thinking about how much it costs.
Yeah.
And people, you know, when you've lived like that, and you know, me and Eric, we lived like that for a long time. We had you know, our regular jobs and stuff like that, and it's just a different life. Like it's so much harder whenever you're constantly thinking about how you're going to spend your next dollar, and just being able to live life without thinking about that. It really is. It makes you. It just makes a world of difference. So you want to look at a couple more examples?
Yeah, that sounds awesome. Sandra said, while you're looking those up, Sandra said she wants to pay off her medical bills. Very stressful. And Sandra, what if you had the money to, you know, to do what you needed to do for your health so you wouldn't incur medical bills, for example? And just to drop a little testimonial, I am not one, I never felt comfortable bragging about my finances publicly, but it's you, me, and the people on this webinar. So I'm going to tell you the treat I bought for myself with cash at an estate sale auction on January 1. I bought myself a little Benz with 25,000 miles on her. Cute little thing. You can go see the picture on my Facebook page. Little silver CLK 300 or something like that. Just a little coupe, and just to bounce around in, not because I needed a car, but because it made me feel good. And I paid cash for her. So, and I didn't worry about that cash had to be taken away from something else. It was, you know, it was cash that I could go do what I wanted with. So these are the types of things that we can do. Thank you, Linda. Congratulations. I think you probably saw. I've never had a Benz before, so I'm excited about it. So yeah, these are the types of things that after you grow your business, you can do for yourself and your family and your friends, and be more present in life. Got kind of off track there. Sorry, Dan.
No. I mean, that's what this is all about, right? It's all about trying to find that level of financial freedom, trying to find that level of general freedom.
Yeah, you got to start somewhere, though. That doesn't happen overnight. But I think you guys know my story. I started back in 2015 with retail arbitrage, a minivan with no seats in it, a trailer attached, and a dream, and just, you know, dug in and learned. There was a learning curve. You know, there is a bit of a learning curve when you're starting something new. But once that learning curve kicked in, and I switched to wholesale thanks to joining your trainings and, you know, following you guys. I was able to just ramp up really quickly, and I reinvested in my business right out of the gate, and that got me to the freedom that I have today. So thank you for that. I don't think I've ever verbally said thanks, guys.
I mean, that's much appreciated. Honestly, we just love hearing those types of stories.
Yeah, well, that's what makes it so awesome.
Yeah. I'm gonna dive a little bit deeper on this one, and just, you know, Adrian had mentioned not being able to follow, and maybe other people are having that same little issue. And I'll slow down on this one and try to dive in and really help everybody understand the kind of the calculations involved. So the first thing that we care about in this particular listing is how many times per month it's selling, right? So with this listing, it's currently selling 1,290 times per month. So that's that first off, that's incredible. Now we want to see at 590 times or 1,290 times per month what our expected sales are in that, right? So what we want to do is we want to look at the lowest prime price, which is not in the buy box currently. This is a back ordered one, but it's coming. It'll be in stock in a few days, and that'll be the new price. So we want every product, or we want every offer within 2% of this price, so we can consider it as a competitive offer, right? So how do we do that? Well, it's super easy. All you have to do is to $20.98, which is the price, our target price, times 1.02, and that tells us what our threshold is for that 2% barrier, right? So times 1.02. Okay, so any offer that is less than $21.39 is something that we would consider competitive, right? And that's who we're competing against. Those are the people that are getting the vast majority of those 1,290 sales per month. So let's go ahead and look and see how many people it is. So we see Capital One Supply here. We see Pet Supplied, Deals for All. And then the next offer is well beyond that. So we have 3 offers, which means that as a seller coming on, we would be the 4th offer, right? So that would be 1,290 sales, because that's the total number of sales. And then we want to see what our percentage of that is. So we would do 1,290 divided by 4. Adrian, is that making a little bit more sense now?
Adrian says yes. So basically, You're dividing how many sell a month by the number of sellers, including us, that would compete for the buy box. And in this case, it's 1,290 units a month divided by 4.
Right, because we are the 4 sellers. So there's only 3 currently, but we're going to be the 4. So we have to include ourselves in that equity, right? So that says that our equity, or what we can expect to sell per month, is 322 and a half units. We'll just go ahead and call it 322. So 322 units, but now we want to see how much we would make per sale, because that's what matters, right? It's like, what are we taking and putting in our pocket? So we'll go with that $20.98 again, times 15%. Now, the reason we're using 15% again is that's just a nice conservative profit margin. We're saying that we expect that we would make approximately 15% profit if we sold this item. So that would be $3.14 units times 244 sales, right?
Yep. So I think we had 322 sales, actually.
Oh, it was 322. So 314 times 322. And this would be what our expected profit would be.
$1,011.08.
Right. So that one product, that one single product, would be over $1,000 a month in potential profit. Now, we can already see that they have more products than that, right? They have the 4-pack, which we're looking at. They have the 6-pack, which, let's see how many times. Let's see if we can get a gauge for if it's similar. Oh, yeah. It's similar sales rank to the other one. So that one probably sells in the same ballpark. So now this one product, when you look at it like that, there's 2 listings on the single product that are doing probably over $1,000 a month in profit, which means just this one line could be, again, that's at $2,000 a month, right? We had asked them, what would you do with an extra $2,000 a month? And this is, now we found 2 of those accounts where now you could be generating an extra $4,000 a month in profit. And that's why this scales so well. It's, a lot of your work is right here where you're finding that initial account, you're calling, you're setting it up. But once you have this account established, like once I've contacted Johnny Cat and I've set up that account and I'm starting to sell those products, and I've made, let's say I talked to them about pictures and I took a few minutes and uploaded some of their pictures, and now that product's selling even better, right? But whenever I go to restock this product, it literally takes me a 5-minute phone call every month to call in and just talk to them about how the product's performing and just be like, hey guys, I'd love another order. Can you go ahead and ship it to Amazon for me? So this is, that's how easy this business can be once you've got it established and scaling. And that's why I love it is, it's not me and Eric, we're not out here every day finding products for our business. We are able to outsource that to virtual assistants. We're able to utilize employees And that's how we've been able to grow our business without having to be, we don't have to do the day-to-day stuff. Like we're not out, I'm not out here setting up accounts anymore and things like that. We have employees that are able to do it easily. And it's just because of how easily this thing scales, and it's all systems based and things like that.
Yeah, and that speaks to the goal that I know a lot of you share with me is to have, like, we build a business to have freedom. We don't build a business to have a job for ourselves.
Right, and I think a lot of the time along the way we kind of lose that, right?
Yeah.
We start making money. You start selling your products, you're making money, and you get comfortable making money, but you forget why you started your own business. Like, everybody, a lot of the people in the chat, they put one because they still had a job. And that's what they do to go make money. Whenever you're creating your business, you're not creating it just to make money. You're creating it to live the life you want. So you got to build that business the way you want it, and that's using systems and things like that so you can outsource and not always have to be involved in the day-to-day operations. And
you get to bless, and I know you guys share this this concept as well, you get to bless other people with work.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's one of the things with our employees is, we have several employees now, and we're going to be involved and see how see the impact on their lives. Like that's just another. We are able to provide an awesome place to work for some really cool people.
Yeah, so you're able to help other people realize a dream of freedom too by giving them pieces of your business to work on that help you grow, and it's win-win-win. Okay. Are you still looking? You're fun. He can't help himself. He's off sourcing now. I love it.
Yeah, this is just another awesome product that looks like there are 2 competitive sellers.
Now, do you think that's a private label? Because that listing looks like a private label listing. I could be wrong.
Could definitely be a private label listing. Did have 2 competitive sellers though on the first one. We'll skip it. You want to do one more and then just do some Q&A?
Yeah, let's do one more and some Q&A. And if you want to drop any knowledge bombs about what you got coming up, love to hear those.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll knock that out.
That would be awesome. And I've got a surprise for you guys too. So hang in there. And towards the end, I've got some stuff I want to share with you that's going to blow your socks off.
Just looking for a cool one.
So Tracy asked, do you have to have the Jungle Scout web app to do this effectively? We are using the Jungle Scout web app now. There are other tools out there as well, but we are very familiar and comfortable with the Jungle Scout web app. And they have grown and refined over time and become a really powerful tool. So I use them. I know Dan uses them, but there are other tools out there as well.
Right, and there's actually manual ways to do this. I mean, this is, it's not all the kind of the pay. Wow, that's the product I didn't want to look at.
What'd you find?
Poultry toothpaste. I don't even know what that could possibly be.
Wait a minute. Hang on. Do I have to ask the obvious question? Do chickens have teeth?
Well, this is the great news. This is apparently for dogs and cats.
Oh, it's poultry flavored. That's hilarious.
But guess what? I mean, that shows that really kind of shows how bad this listing actually is.
Yeah.
I have no idea that this is for dogs. Like this is, it's labeled as I didn't even know. I was with you, Barb. I was wanting to see if chickens had teeth.
Like, and I had to think about it too. I'm like, wait, no.
So, with this product, well, first off, I can point out that this one doesn't have a competitive FBA offer, and it doesn't look to be hazmat or anything like that. So this is a potentially phenomenal opportunity right here. This is one that this is one that would potentially get me excited. First off, we see there's terrible pictures, only one picture, and it's not very great. And then the title is absolutely awful. We thought it was toothpaste for chickens. So that's, this should leave so much to be desired, and this product's killing it. This product is absolutely killing it.
That's
so
crazy.
Look
at this, $17,601 in sales a month.
Right, and if you came on with an FBA offer that was remotely competitive, you're probably going to get 95% of those sales immediately.
That's insane.
This product, Verbac. I've never heard of this line.
Yeah, let's go find it. So what he's doing now, he's typing Verbac into Google to find the manufacturer.
Verbac Dental.
There you go. Pretty funny.
It's funny. The little saying on their website said, "Please don't judge a book by its cover." And I should tell them I do judge them by their Amazon listing, and that's not good.
Oh, I love how, see what I mean? You're tying in their web presence, things that they have on their website with the conversation you have with them to make that connection.
Yep. Contact us. Yeah, this one's a potential just absolute home run product. Like this is one I'm probably going to tell my team about.
Yeah.
You guys can go for it too. But, this one just looks like one of those that they can literally generate, say, I could easily see this product generating $2,000 a month in profit, no problem.
Oh, easily. And you see they had different animals on there, so maybe they have different toothpaste.
Well, I mean, it looks like they have different products too.
Right.
Yeah, so one for cats, ferrets, dogs.
Dogs, ferret toothpaste.
Hey, ferret.
Barb, if I get a ferret, I'll need you to brush its teeth for me.
Hell no. Verback says Sentinel flea stuff sells in vet offices. Interesting. So their target market is B2B. So they're not even paying attention to Amazon. That's pretty cool. Okay, so let's add this up, boys. I appreciate all the time you're investing in this. We've found quite a few really interesting products pretty darn quickly in about an hour. Let's add this up. Did you guys write down all the numbers? Because I didn't write them all down, but we're probably looking at that Verback was maybe $2,000 a month just for that one product, right?
Right. I mean, that was easily $2,000 a month, and that's not even counting their ferret toothpaste and all the other ones. Like,
so the baby math I did in my head from all of this is based on what we showed today. If I closed down those accounts and got their other products, I'm looking at about $242,000 a year in net profit.
Right.
From what we found, I'm not over look, see, I swear I got all listed out. I'm not making that up. So that's just, fuzzy math, but it's to show you the potential when you have the right skills, right? When you have the right approach and you have a formula that you follow, not just sort of a shotgun approach, that you can very systematically find the products that aren't being properly represented that have a ton of potential in it. In a nutshell, right?
Absolutely. And this is the kind of the testament to the model is when our first year, our first year with Wholesale, we went from 1.2 million to 3.6 million in sales, just plugging a single employee in who had never sold anything online.
Yeah.
Like that's why having a systemized business is incredibly important. Is if you can create one of these businesses where it's incredibly talent based, but it's so hard to expand because so much of it relies on your internal talent or whatever. So whenever you create that systemized business with processes, you're able to just exponentially grow every time you plug a quality person in.
And I think it's about resisting as entrepreneurs that shiny object syndrome. Oh, there's something else I'm going to go after. Oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. So when you focus on one thing and you build out that one thing and just hyper focus on it, then you can go explore other opportunities because of the outcome that one thing gives you. But just resist the temptation to go off on a bunch of different, and just focus on one thing at a time. So what do you have coming up? What can you share with us?
Absolutely. In terms of, we have our free workshop, and the free workshop we do it annually. We're doing it once a year. So this is going to be the only time you guys can get in. It's going to be our only little enrollment period for this. So jump over, check it out. So what this workshop is it's our way to share what it is that we do and how we do it with everybody. It lets us kind of go through the model, showing how we find products, how we analyze products, like we did a little bit of that here, but also how we reach out to manufacturers and brand owners and start developing those relationships, right? To set up those wholesale accounts, because we've seen here today, like you can set up those wholesale accounts and they are massive. They can be absolutely massive and can literally change your life with one account. But the hard part is actually getting those accounts, right? That's one of the hard parts. So that's one of the things that we dive into in the workshop. Now, maybe you're watching this and you're like, I don't necessarily even care about wholesale that much. You should still dive in the workshop, because that workshop we go through, we're two not very intelligent dudes, and we created a super successful business with starting with a $600 credit card. But those same principles will apply to you. Like, you're going to be able to find things in that workshop where we go through the way we analyze things, or how we're able to scale our business and stuff like that. And that's things that can apply directly to your business no matter what you're doing. So it's just our opportunity to show people what we do and how we do it, and get them involved, or get them excited about creating and scaling a business.
Cool. What's tomorrow's lesson going to be on?
Well, tomorrow it's actually funny because we are diving in towards the end of the workshop right now. But now the way this workshop works is we have the workshops open for it's going to be open for another 7 days. So once the workshop closes, we're going to take all that content down. So make sure to jump in there now, and you can get all the days of content, right? So we leave it up the whole time. You guys can go back, check it out. But it's up right now, and we'll be up for the next 7 days. But tomorrow, we're just going to be talking about those relationships, how to cultivate them, and how to start moving forward and scaling your business. But yeah, it'll only be up for 7 days, guys. Seriously, definitely check it out.
Okay, so go check out freewholesaleworkshop.com and check your inboxes tonight, because I'm going to drop some crazy information, and you want to read it. I'm not going to give any, what do they call it? Spoiler alerts, right? But go ahead and check your inbox later tonight, and I've got some huge surprises for you guys in regards to wholesale sourcing. So again, remember to check your inbox. I'm also going to send you the replay of this, so look for the replay. Are you guys open to doing a little bit of Q&A?
Yeah, let's do a little bit.
Okay. So Jay wants to know a little bit more about VAs. Make your questions really specific so it's easier for us to answer, because that's a huge, that's a huge question. Can you explain how to know if Amazon is a seller or they have a fake listing?
Yep. Anytime that we see Amazon on a listing, like if they are not in the buy box, that raises alarm bells, and I want to go hover over and see if they are actually in stock. Now, if the product's actually in stock, that's one thing. But a lot of times you're going to see that thing that we saw earlier where it says ships in 1 to 4 weeks or ships in 1 to 2 months or whatever. Now, typically what that is that's just Amazon putting up an offer, trying to kind of guide the marketplace and try to guide that marketplace price. But whenever we see those products, like a lot of people just steer clear immediately. They're just like, whoa, don't want any of that. Amazon's there. But whenever you see that ships in 1 to 2 months, ships in 1 to 4 weeks or something, well, go ahead and reach out to that manufacturer. Go ahead and reach out to that brand owner and just talk to them. Be like, hey, I noticed, first off, there's a lot of things that we can do to really help your listing and help your product start performing better. But I noticed that Amazon was listed on one of those listings. Do you guys currently work with Amazon? And a lot of the times they're going to be like, nope, actually, we've heard that before. We don't know why that's there, but you'll hear that significantly more often than not, and it's just that Amazon fake offer, and where they're trying to kind of guide that marketplace price.
That's weird. So somebody asked, do you only use VAs as employees, and do you only use prep centers? Now, I know you guys used to have a warehouse, but you've transitioned into prep centers, right?
Yeah, we're 100% prep center now, and we have a couple of VAs and 2 domestic employees.
Right. Like we have 2 domestic employees and then 2 VAs that literally run our entire Amazon business. And then we when we did transition out of the warehouse, like we're 100% prep center based. So that means we literally never see the product we sell anymore.
That's crazy. That's a knowledge bomb right there, guys. Did you hear what they said? They're running their wholesale business with like 4 people in a prep company. And can I ask how big you guys are?
Well, actually, it's going to be awesome this year. I don't know where we're going to land this year. We just literally signed the biggest deal we've ever seen. So
congratulations today.
That one should be great. But we did, I think, 5.5 last year.
Nice. And overall, you've done like $20 million in sales on Amazon. Right. So it just goes to show you, if one of your fears is, I don't have a team and I don't have a warehouse and I don't have. It's okay. You don't need all of that stuff, certainly not up front, and then longer term. As long as you follow a system and you're lean and you invest back into yourself and into your business, then you don't need to have a giant infrastructure in order to make this business work for you. Would you guys agree?
Yeah, I mean, we don't want a giant infrastructure. Our goal is to, when we decided that we created this business, we wanted to be able to enjoy ourselves and have all the freedom that we wanted. So our goal was to run lean and mean and just operate with our small team and do as much as we can.
Yeah, it really comes down to freedom for me, and I know it does for you. So last shout out, if freedom is on your top 5 things that you want to accomplish by owning a business, put 1 in the chat. I should see a lot of chat, a lot of ones in the chat there. I'm going to go over to the Q&A real quick. If freedom is on your top 5 things. So somebody asks in the Q&A, would you recommend ordering a product and taking better pictures of it? Maybe even writing some ad copy for the listings and sending that to the company to help them see how a strong partnership can be developed.
If that's something you can do, of course. I mean, that's something we can't do. I mean,
yeah, it's all about taking that extra, doing that little extra that lazy sellers don't do. And that is a wonderful idea. Congratulations on thinking outside the box.
Right.
Let's see. Is there any way to determine if the manufacturer is actually selling on Amazon themselves?
That's, here, first off, yeah, usually they'll have their name will be the same as their product name. But even if they are, that's not something that concerns us. Like, we sell on the same listings with several manufacturers. And a lot of the times that's usually a benefit. It means that they've had to start an account because of problems. So most of these manufacturers and brand owners, they don't want to be a retailer. Like, they just don't. Their goal is to be a manufacturer and get their product in as many channels as possible. So if they're having to do that and commit resources there, like, that's usually a negative. So I love seeing a brand owner on the listing. Like, that definitely wouldn't scare me off at all, because a lot of the brand owners that we've worked with in the past, like, their goal wasn't to be on Amazon. They were just literally they come on and they were trying to fix a problem with feedback or something like that. So absolutely.
That's another opportunity. That's another example of how a pain point can be turned into an opportunity with the brand owner. And last question, then we're going to shut it down. And there are a lot of other questions in here that are kind of not exactly related to what we're talking about, but I'm going to capture the things in the chat and go over to the Deal Diva Facebook group, and I'll answer them there. I'll create a post for this webinar and put the replay up there and also answer your questions in there. So the last one, which I think we haven't touched on, is what if you don't live in the US and you want to sell on Amazon.com? I know it's possible. What advice would you give for someone who doesn't live in the US and wants to do this?
No, it absolutely is. It's not only possible, it's a huge opportunity. Whenever you're working with these brands, they don't care if you're a US seller. They don't care if you're an American. What they care about is that you can help their product, right? So one of the requirements is you need a business. Now, all the companies you're going to deal with in wholesale require you to be a business, and that's because their tax delineation and things like that. They have to sell to businesses. So you'll need to be a business, but you can be a business in your own company or in your own country. Like, if you're, let's say you're from Canada, you can form a Canadian business, and you can use that to start connecting with wholesale companies and buying products in the U.S. But you don't have to be a U.S. company. So absolutely exists. There's multiple ways to go about it. Like, you just, you can look and see which way is best for you. But absolutely, this is an opportunity for non-U.S. people.
Yeah, and the cool thing is with Amazon, they've got a pretty robust seller central support area where that question has probably been answered a lot. So if you just go into that support area and type in, how do I get started selling as a non-US, but they might give you some information on what you need to do legally to get that set up. We're not here we can't give legal advice.
We have a blog article I can send you.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that's awesome. Well, I'll drop that in the Deal Diva group. Go to facebook.com/groups/Deal Diva. That's DEALDIVA, and minus the lipstick. And and I'll drop that link to some resources on prep centers, etc. In that post. So thank you guys. I truly appreciate that you've invested an hour and a half of your time here showing us how to find products to sell on Amazon. Thank you. We found a bunch of really cool stuff. So guys,
and chicken toothpaste.
Chicken toothpaste. That's it. Mic drop. Right? We'll do a mouse drop. Chicken toothpaste is a thing. So thank you, gentlemen. I appreciate it. Dan and Eric from The Wholesale, formerly, you guys totally rock. Thank you for your time today. Talk to you guys. Thank you guys for being in the webinar. You guys have an amazing day. Go practice. Talk to you later.
Go get on the free wholesaleworkshop.com. Like, this is a huge opportunity for you guys to get involved. Jump in. And if you guys have questions about those videos, we're going to be in there with our entire team answering questions all week. So you guys, if you didn't get your question answered here, go to Barb's group, dive into that workshop, and you can get these questions answered.
And check out, I think it was yesterday's or Tuesday's, because I watch all of them over again. Even though I am an alumni student of the TWF, I still get in there and learn something new every time you guys tweak something. So there is a product scouting sheet download that will let you, for those of you who are like me and you're visual and you like to write things down and follow things, you can follow what we just, he illustrated in this webinar today. It breaks it down for you with pretty graphics and the math all laid out. So you can go download it. I think that was on Wednesdays, right?
Yep. Just go through all those videos. You'll get all kinds of
all the
information.
videos, and there's resources that you can download on every single one of those videos. freewholesaleworkshop.com. I will see you guys in there, and I'll see you in the group. And remember to dream big. Talk to you guys later.
See ya.
Bye.